What's up, good people? It's your boy Laws, OSS 980, other side of sports. Lock Factory, you now in the building. You tuned into the Lock Factory. I know y'all was waiting for this joint. Y'all was, when am I gonna put out the Lock Factory joint? When is it coming? You need to be ready. I'm trying to get this money. I already know. We already know what time it is. Me and Aaron been in the lab cooking. We've been cooking. I'm here solo dolo, so I'm the messenger today. We done conferred on the picks. We done went together, got together, and went through it. So we got the picks for you. We got the lots for you. Okay. Um, you know this entertainment purposes only. So I just gotta put the disclaimer out that drink. I do extensive research though. We in the lab, we talking, we confirm, we talking all angles. You know what I'm saying? We going through it all. So I mean, referee assignments, anything you can think of, dog. We pulling the data. We looking at previous years and tendencies, coaching tendencies and stuff. And then some stuff is just basic football, like just awareness and knowledge. Like, if you ain't got the guys in the trenches, it's just not gonna work out for you sometimes. So, we're looking at all the angles. Plus, you got the hook factor where you could think you know everything. There's some variance in how the games are picked, and so sometimes you think you looked at every angle, and it just don't go your way, dog. It just like some flukeness happens, or Bama just do like the Stephon Diggs joint where Bama threw the bomb, and then Bama the cornerback dove all crazy, and then Bama caught the drain, went for a touchdown, like stuff like that. It's just gonna happen. So you got to be prepared for that, right? So my first thing to you is if you're doing it, you gotta protect your bankroll. Okay. Don't go ham. Like, I mean, I'm giving you the locks and you can trust them. But somebody, I'm about to put the whole house on the. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that. Stay within your means. You know what I'm saying? If you got $100 you was going to spend on some shoes and you want to try to play your hand here, okay, man. But don't come back to me talking about, hey man, I need a place to sleep. I can't, call the hotline, get them people, help you out, bro. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Just call the hotline. Hey man, I got a problem. I'm out here doing the most. I ain't got no way to sleep. Like, if you can't control yourself, you don't have no self-control, maybe you don't need to do this, okay? But for those who rock with us, I mean, we back. We're gonna give you the picks. We're gonna jump right into it. Right now, I'm because I know some of y'all new to the channel. Y'all like, oh, this man would think he didn't know what he doing. He know what he talking about. Check this video out.
Yo, this is Van, longtime listener, OSS 980. Uh, Shout out to the Lock Factory. Right behind me here is my Trek Damani Plus. Got it this about a month ago. Because of the Lock Factory, they'll put a G, toward the purchase of it. Appreciate you guys. Look forward to the season coming up.
Proof is in the pudding, people. That's all I'm gonna tell you. We're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. Because I'm not trying to waste a whole bunch of time, not trying to waste y'all time. We're just gonna get straight in. I mean, I'm gonna go through the games. But I know y'all want the lots. Y'all gonna skip through the video, or y'all gonna watch the video. Let's talk about the games because it's a lot of money to be made in this drink this week. You got Tampa Bay at the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons, they actually on my ticket, dog. So I got the Falcons plus 4.5. For this game, I think Tampa Bay is favored minus 1.5. Uh, by all accounts, yeah, we can share the screen. We can do that. So y'all can see what I'm looking at. Um, yeah. So we got Okay, here we go. So we got Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Um, Divisional matchup, second year quarterback. You got Baker Mayfield versus Michael Penix Jr. This one's gonna be a tough game. I see this being a one-score game. Tampa Bay's dealing with a lot of injuries. I expect the young players to step up. They still got Mike Evans. They still got potent offense. So it's not a walk in the park for Atlanta in any stretch. It is a home game for Atlanta. I think that they will come out, offensively with a little juice in their step. With the addition of Michael Penix, like in his first full season. And so I expect big things out of Atlanta, right? There's always the possibility they come out start slow, but I think they'll be juiced up for this one. It's in a dome, so it plays to the strengths I think the Atlanta Falcons have on their team. Bijan Robinson. So I mean, even though Tampa Bay is favorite, I know why they're favorite because they were a better overall team last year. Baker is a solid quarterback. They're favorite 1.5, some books, and then other books like 1 point. So they basically look at this joint and pick them, and that's with the Atlanta Falcons being home. So they add that. Usually that's a +3 margin for the home team. So they think the Tampa Bay is going to win by like 4 or 5 points. I don't necessarily think that. So I have Atlanta +4.5 with this game. Okay. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. 1 o'clock kickoff is in New York. It's the revenge game. It's Justin Fields going back to play his old team in the Steelers, and it's Aaron Rodgers coming back to play his old team in the Jets. Neither one of them had the greatest time in those different places. Aaron Glenn, new coach. I'm sure they going to try to throw the kitchen sink at Aaron Rodgers and try to really see if he can handle the pressure. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers will be prepared for that. I think that Aaron Rodgers will, play well, and I think that they'll tend to, play a grounded out game. I know that over and under is 38 in most places, right? So that sounds about right. I would choose the under 42 margin if I was picking the over under on this joint. I got Pittsburgh. I'm teasing Pittsburgh +4.5. Um, yeah, my goal is always to pick winners. I just not trying to like outsmart everybody. I just want to like stay on the winning side. So I think Pittsburgh, just from a coaching standpoint, just from like the player standpoint, I just think they will prevail in this one. Um, I think the Jets will play hard, and I think this could be close. And a lot of the public sentiments that the Jets have a chance, but I just think that when it's all said and done, Mike Tomlin and their team will just be prepared to play, and this will go down to the wire. Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. Me and Aaron talked about this one exclusively and extensively. They got Indianapolis favorite -1.5, -1. I don't know why that is the case. To me, Miami Dolphins should be favored by 1, if any team. I know that the Dolphins are they have some injury concerns, and it's always questions around Tua's health. But I mean, overall, I just think that the firepower Miami has is more than what Indianapolis Colts have. The Colts do have a better like offensive and defensive line, I think, in this matchup. So, I think they're giving them the edge there. Daniel Jones is serviceable, but he's not great. And I think it'll be a run heavy like matchup. If Miami's able to like kind of stop the run and put Daniel Jones in third and long situations, then I just think that the it tilts heavy to Miami in that case, because I'm pretty sure Miami's going to put up points and be able to put up points. So I just don't know if Indianapolis will be able to score at that clip. If Aaron was on here, he's saying that this is a lock Miami. So I because just the line and the books and how they in the trenches, like some of those things are kind of causing me to like stay away from it. So Aaron is saying that this is a lock. I'm not so sure that it's a lock. I just don't. I don't know all the way if it's a lock. So I probably would leave it off my ticket. But if I were to bet it, I probably would bet Miami +4.5, just to be safe on the safe side. I don't think Indianapolis is blowing out Miami. If they do win, it's not by a touchdown. So that's how I would play that. Carolina at Jacksonville Jaguars. This is not on my ticket. This is not one of my locks. Carolina, I think Jacksonville will win. I think the spread is -3.5. in favor of Jacksonville, that's way too high. That's way too high. So I mean, I like Jacksonville, but I like Carolina to cover the 3.5 if I have to pick against this spread. I just don't think that Jacksonville is a 3.5 point team that's better than the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now I know that there are some injury concerns to Carolina's offensive line. They all lost a tackle, and I know there's question marks around their just their receiving core. They signed what's his name this week. The little Wes Walker type Bama on their receiver core. He inconsequential really. I could look it up, but he not that much of a Hunter Renfro. So yeah, questions and marks around what they'll be able to do. I mean, it's possible Jacksonville could run away with this joint, but I just not all the way convinced. I think Carolina will play them, tough, but 3.5 points is steep. I probably take Jacksonville minus 2.5 if I had to take this, not 3.5. New York Giants at Washington Commanders. This is our team. We discuss this team in length all the time. NYG revamped defense. I think that this game will be decided in the first quarter or two of this game. Like if the Washington Commanders are able to neutralize the defensive pass rush of the New York Giants, then they're gonna wash the Giants. Like I'm talking about, like if they get through and Jay Daniels binks Bama's and gets loose and guns it sideline or makes them hurts them with a big play and that pass rush, then you're gonna see right away that the pass rush that's supposed to be dominant is just gonna be a non-factor because what happens is in football, people who know, like once a quarterback is dynamic, you feel like you have to do things to change to compensate for like their dynamic play. Like Bama's not gonna be going as hard, they're gonna be backing up, all types of stuff. So you just wanna you just wanna um you want to stick with the Commanders in this one. I don't know if they beat them by a touchdown. I mean, very well could beat them by a touchdown, easily be 10 point. Um, but I just I know it's a divisional matchup. I know, all these factors, right? But Jaden is special. And I think that fans and the people will actually see if the pass rush by the Giants is able to get to Jaden Daniels and kind of stifle, let's say that the Washington Commanders come out and go 3-and-out in the early, like first couple series and stuff, and it's looking like it's going to be a grinded out game, then I think that kind of tilts it towards New York Giants' favor if they can do that. But if their pass rush gets through, let's say they break the line and Jaden Daniels just breaks it for a 25-yard run, doing stuff dynamic that only he can do or a few other quarterbacks can do, then I just think it's a non-factor. And then you have this spread at 7.5 looks more, or 6.5 looks more realistic. I'm gonna say that the Washington Commanders win, and I think the safe spread to take the Commanders is minus 2.5. So you take them 2.5. If it's a grinded out game, it comes down to a field goal. I think the Washington Commanders still win, and they win by a field goal. So that's what I would do there. Okay. It is on my ticket, and it is one of my locks that the Commanders win this game. So money line is a win. Minus 2.5 is what I have it at on my lock ticket. That's where I'm going. Arizona at New Orleans. This is not on my ticket. I'm not messing with this game because I just feel like it's no point, though. I mean, a lot of people are high on Arizona, but this is a classic trap game. It's the first game of the season. It's in New Orleans. This joint could go any kind of way. So games like that, I'm trying to stay far, far away from because everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Arizona gonna watch them," and they very well may, and they should. But I just don't know if it's gonna go the way people think it's gonna go. And I know the New Orleans Saints aren't that really good of a team, but I'm not willing to stake my bankroll on a possibility this high, in my opinion, because they're an away team. Arizona has to travel to New Orleans. Then they have to play all things are kind of like square at the first game of the season. So I just I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. So it's not on my ticket. I don't have it as a lot. If I had to pick, you put a gun in my head and force me, I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals to win. But I could see some funny business happening in this one. All right. Next is on the ticket. You got Cincinnati Bengals at the Cleveland Browns. Cincinnati's favorite -5.5. I know that there's been a lot of emphasis on Cincinnati, like coming out strong in their first game, and they've been having these slow starts, and so I think that they will have a faster start. But I think in this matchup, it's not really going to make a difference. Do they win? I believe the Cincinnati Bengals win this game. Um, I think that they do win, but I just don't think that it's a runaway win. And I think that the Cleveland Browns played them tough, all the way down, all the way through. And to me, I think it becomes like either a field goal game, where Cleveland, covers the 5.5. It could be 7. I mean, like I see this game being like 28-21 or 28-24, something like that. Like I don't know that I would press my luck on the Cincinnati -5.5 side, even though I know that they're trying to start fast and do all of these things. So, that being said, I probably would just use caution in that game, and I might if I had to bet it, I probably would go Cleveland plus 13.5, something like that, just to be on the safe side. Las Vegas Raiders at the New England Patriots. Patriots are favored -2.5 at home. And this is one of those games where all the research and stuff, they lean in New England heavy. And I'm like, I don't see it. I think that, I know Gino's outdoor performances are a little different than his indoor. When he's in the dome, he's a much better quarterback. And when he's outdoors, it just changes. I know all of that. You know, Drake May, people are high on him in his year two. I don't know that I see it. And this is a game where I know Mike Vrabel and their defense is going to be a lot better. I know that their run approach is going to be a lot better. I know that they're going to, approach this game. But like when the game starts and the game's actually being played, I'm not so sure that New England's the better team. I don't know. To me, it's more of a pick 'em. And when it's a pick 'em scenario, I'm going with the team that's being undervalued or as the underdog. I'm going with the Las Vegas Raiders, and I'm picking them plus 3.5. Like, so that's the spread I'm putting for the Raiders plus 3.5. Not a lock, it's not on the ticket, but just what I'm going with. San Francisco 49ers at Seattle Seahawks. San Fran's favorite -1.5 at Seattle. Again, this is one of those ones you researched, and everybody's like kind of leaning this towards San Francisco, and I'm not sure why, especially with the news that Christian McCaffrey having calf issues or is questionable, and probably going to be on a pitch count. I don't like it, and this goes back to them mismanaging the whole situation. Like I just, to me, I don't like it, and frankly, to be honest, like I'm ready to just press against it. I mean, I know Kyle Shanahan, the offense is good, at least how they scheme it. Seattle's defense is not too shabby. Now, I do get concerns around Sam Darnold. Leading Seattle, he hasn't really looked good in that camp, and there's question marks around that. Uh, yeah, this is not like, I think when he was in Minnesota, it was just schemed up differently. So I get the -1.5 in favor of San Francisco to a degree, but I don't like the matchup. I don't like that it's in Seattle. Like, these are things that would have me go with Seattle as the underdog. At home, a home underdog versus San Francisco that banged up, receiver core is banged up. It's a lot of question marks around that San Francisco team. I mean, they still got George Kittle. They still got, they Brian Robinson Jr., however you feel about that. I would probably put him on an anytime touchdown, though. I think that he's going to get a touchdown today. But yeah, I'll probably stay away from this game. If I had to choose it, I'm going with Seattle plus 4.5. That's like the magic number. So I would just do Seattle plus 4.5. Tennessee Titans at the Denver Broncos. Let me just preface this by saying I like Cam Ward a lot. I think that he will show flashes today. I think he will do some things that shows that he has the ability to be a good quarterback in this league. He will impress people. by his play at times. The spot is bad for him. The Denver Broncos defense is top 5 defense in the league. They're stout. They're good, against the pass. They're good against the run. They have they just got a lot. It's a lot of problems that Cam Ward is going to have to diagnose today. And it's in Mile High Stadium, like in Denver, where the altitude changes. Like that's going to have an impact today, on the players because it's the first game of the season. So it's like you're not even like thinking about it that much. Tennessee has to travel to Denver. Like it's just all these little things that I think will impact the outcome of this game. And because the Denver Broncos are just like in a better position from a continuity standpoint. I think Tennessee will be trying to figure things out, right? And I have Denver to win, and I don't necessarily have them covering the 8.5, even though they very well could. I wouldn't. That's risky to me, so I would probably, tease it down to about 5.5 points. So Denver minus 5.5. Yeah. So yeah, they on my ticket, and that's a lock for me. Denver Broncos to win. Minus the 5.5. Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. This is an afternoon game, divisional matchup. Green Bay is favorite -2, most books, 2.5, some places. I know that there's a lot of question marks around Detroit Lions and the loss of their offensive and defensive coordinators and how that's going to play out. I'm not really worried about that. I think Detroit is a good team. If everything was the same from last year, like let's say they had the same D coordinator, offensive coordinator, and they just came into this game, like to me, it's a pick 'em. It's a pick 'em. Green Bay Packers, they've added Michael Parsons. He's questionable. His back issue. Will he play? Will he play? Like to me, when somebody's trying to play to like establish that they're worth the money that was paid, that's just bad. It's not about football. So when you pull things away from football, you kind of put yourself in a bad bind. So I think that Jordan Love still has a lot to prove, but at times he makes bad decisions in this game. It's like if you punt a few times, Detroit can score points. They have weapons. They have an offense. I feel like they're gonna come out and kind of run the same machine they've been running. I know defensively they haven't been all world and great, so they'll have some issues there. But again, Green Bay is not like they have health concerns on their offense as well. So I'm going with Detroit, and I'm teasing it, teasing Detroit plus 4.5 just to be safe. Field goal game. I think it's a field goal game, or you could do 3.5. And I do have Detroit on my ticket, and that to me that's a lot. Then you have Houston at LA. LA Rams are favorite -3. It's in LA. I think Houston will give LA a little bit of trouble, I think. I mean, Houston, they've dealt with a lot of changes. Offensive line, they lost offensive line help, they lost Tunsil. So there's question marks. Like they did not help themselves with their offensive line. Like, I mean, that was a question mark last year. I think it's another question mark this year. LA has a formidable defense. I mean, it's not all world, but they were solid last year. So this is a game, is Matthew Stafford healthy? Is his back okay? Like, will he be able to? I think at least this is going to come down to who's able to generate or make the other quarterback uncomfortable. I mean, CJ Stroud, I think definitely wants to come into this game and play at a high level. This is a game I'll probably leave off the ticket, but I like Houston to cover 3.5. So I guess I'm with Houston plus 3.5 for this game. Even though I think the Rams win. I think the Rams win. But I think Houston hangs around and hangs in there longer than they should. Based on the team. And then the last game for this weekend, or at least Sunday, is Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore is favorite -1.5, and Buffalo is the home dog. This game is going to be a good game. I can't wait to watch it. I think in this game, in this scenario situation, I'm just probably going to go with Lamar plus 3.5. I think this game is a field goal. It's decided by a field goal. And I think Baltimore is the better team. Overall, I think Buffalo is just a lot on Josh Allen's shoulders. And it's always that way. And he kind of does it, but I just know that this is going to be a grinded out game. Excellent for entertainment purposes. So, but if I had to choose, I think like Baltimore and their retooling, but they had some of their offensive weapons that they've added, Derrick Henry factor, like all of these things just compile. I just think put them in a better position to beat the Buffalo Bills. So I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens plus 3. If you want to just be safe, make Baltimore Ravens plus 3.5. Right? You put $50 on that. You probably like if you take the locks, and Baltimore's not a lock for me, but I'll go through my locks. Atlanta plus 4.5, Pittsburgh plus 4.5, Washington minus 2.5, Denver minus 3.5, Detroit plus 4.5. And I'll have them in the thing. You put $50 on it, you win on, 275, 280. So there you go. Enjoy this weekend, enjoy the games. And yeah, the Monday night joint, Minnesota, Chicago. If you really want that, I don't like pairing drinks to the next day. Like you play it when it comes because things could change. But I like Chicago to win. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how Chicago and Caleb Williams handles the pressure from Minnesota. Minnesota is going to throw the kitchen sink at Chicago. And if Caleb Williams does not handle that well, it's going to be a long day for Chicago. JJ McCarthy will have to deal with the same thing, but it's a little different because I don't think the Chicago Bears defense is the same as Minnesota's defense. So, I think that if you say which quarterback has it a little easier, I think it'll be JJ McCarthy. And so because of that, I think that the Minnesota Vikings win this game minus the 1.5. Okay. And those are the picks. Locker Factory, tune in, subscribe to the channel, share the content. Yeah, if we bless you, go ahead and send in your testimonials, man. Just go ahead and send in the testimonial. Hey, we went with the Lock Factory. Bama hooked us. We good money. So there you go. Enjoy the games. I'm out.